Friends, for 2 years I've been planning to get to Kopaonik. And finally, I'm here. Today I'll talk about what, in my opinion, this resort is like, and I'll also compare it to the well-known, very familiar to me Kolosin, where I've been many times. I've filmed various videos there, which you've seen on my channel. So Kopaonik is the largest mountain range in Serbia, stretching for 80 kilometers. It's a popular resort among tourists, and there's something to do here at any time of year. The mountain got its name thanks to the numerous mineral resources that have been mined here since ancient times. Kopaonik is the place where most Serbs learned how to ski. It is famous for its slopes, which are suitable for both beginners and experienced skiers, as well as for snowboarding and paragliding. When spring arrives, Kopaonik turns into a green oasis with comfortable temperatures, making it perfect for relaxation and various sports activities. Kopaonik mountain is distinguished by its recognizable landscape with dense coniferous forests. From the peaks of Kopaonik, you can enjoy breathtaking views of the mountains. Kopaonik is recognized as a national park. While walking through its forests, you can see more than 600 different plant species, 4 of which are endangered. Some plants are found only in this region. So that's it for the general information. Now let's talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. First, let me say the most important thing. Below, I will talk about various drawbacks. They definitely exist, but the resort is amazing. I liked everything. Well, or at least almost everything. I'll start with what I liked most compared to Kolashin, to well-developed infrastructure. In Kolashin, for the most part, there's nothing to do besides skiing. But in Kopaonik, there are more options. Here, there's a greater selection of restaurants and spa centers. And also, which is important for skiers, there's a wider choice of places where you can rent ski equipment. And that's why, unlike in Kolashin, there are no lines for it here. There are a huge number of rental points here. Kolashin also has quite a few, but there are more here. Here, the selection is better, and it's more comfortable to choose and rent equipment. You don't have to arrive half an hour earlier than everyone else, like I did in Kolashin, for example. For the most part, I have all my own equipment, but I haven't bought skis. I think it's unnecessary. It's easier to rent them. So in Kolashin, I always arrive half an hour early before the crowd shows up to comfortably get skis. Here, that problem doesn't exist at all. That's a plus. Now, what I didn't like, it takes 3 hours to get to Kolashin from Herceg Novi, but almost 8 hours to Kopaonik. That's a huge downside. Next, it's more expensive. Well, maybe that's not the worst drawback, but still, it's more expensive. I paid almost 180 euros for 2 ski passes for 3 days. Well, about 180 euros. Let's not stick exactly to plus or minus 3 euros here, because the prices are in dinars. I converted them to euros at the exchange rate, so it's approximate. So 180 euros. That means 1 ski pass per day costs 30 euros. And for comparison, in Kolashin, ski passes for a day cost from 10 to 15 euros. That's if you buy for just one resort. There are 2 resorts there. Each with its own price zone is 10 euros per day. The other is 15 euros per day. In Kopaonik, it's significantly more expensive. And third, crowds of people, just crowds. In Kolashin, there are significantly fewer. The lines at the lifts in Kopaonik, you wait 20 or 30 minutes at the lifts. Here, I don't know, it feels like half the time I've been here, I've spent standing in lines. There are just an enormous number of skiers. Maybe it's just this particular year. Maybe it's the holidays. But I asked some locals, talked to some local Serbs. They said, well, it's always like this. Our resort is popular, so there are always these kinds of crowds. As for the slopes, Kopaonik has a greater selection of slopes for beginners. So what am I trying to say? That here, basically, there is a bigger selection of slopes than in Kolashin, of course. There are 46 slopes in total here. But that's not the main thing. I mean, if you come to a resort, it's unlikely that you plan to ride on all 46 slopes. So that's not the main thing. What's the main thing? The main thing is that here there's a good selection of slopes, meaning there's a clear progression from easy to difficult. There's even a very basic hill, a children's slope, where you stand on skis for the first time. Then it gets a bit harder, then a bit harder again, and so on. There's nothing like that in Kolashin. There, at some point, you jump from the hill that's already easy for you to the one that's still too difficult. So when you're just learning to ski, at least in your first year, you'll feel more comfortable in Kopaonik. But if you're already an experienced skier, if you've been skiing for 2 or 3 years or even longer, then you can basically choose. So which one should you choose? Kopaonik or Kolashin? Let me repeat once again, I by no means want to say that Kopaonik is a bad resort. The resort is excellent, but nevertheless, if I had to choose between the two resorts, I would still pick Kolashin. Why? Well, basically, I've already explained why. Let me briefly repeat. It's much closer from Montenegro. 3 hours or 8 hours on the road, that's a huge difference. Plus, it's cheaper. And importantly, there aren't such crowds of skiers waiting in line for the lift. So, friends, that's basically all from me. See you in the mountains.